So our notes for tonight are Chapter 3, Lesson 4, Solving Problems Using Equations. So you want that template out. And our goal is to solve word problems using one variable equations. So it won't be the only way to solve these word problems, but we want to learn that equation solving method. So that's what we're going to go through with this template. So as a little warm-up, we're going to write and set up the equation only for this word problem. The largest of three consecutive even integers is 3 times the smallest. So as we went over before, we want to define our variable. So if we're looking at 3 consecutive even integers, then we want to make x our first consecutive even. And if x is the first consecutive even integer, then the next even integer would be 2 more than that. And the third would be 4 more than the first, because we're skipping with evens, we're skipping one in between. And so if we're looking at the largest of the 3, so the largest of the 3, that's x plus 4, that's our equals, 3 times the smallest, and that would be 3 times x. And that's the setup of the equation. And we're not going to solve right now, just as a warm-up. And then I want you to try this second warm-up problem and pause the video, try that out, and see if it matches what we have. So if you have twice the smaller of 2 consecutive odd integers, is 7 more than the larger? Then again, we'll set the first consecutive odd integer as x, and then the second is x plus 2, because the odd numbers we're also skipping one in between. And so twice the smaller would be 2x. Is your equals, and 7 more than the larger would be x plus 2 plus 7. So for examples 1 through 3, we want to use the 5-step problem-solving plan to solve the following word problems. And we'd really like you to get into the habit of thinking through this problem-solving plan. So example 1, Lynn took a taxi cab from her office to the airport. She had to pay a flat fee of $2.05 plus $90 per mile. The total cost was $5.65. How many miles was the trip? So again, the equation solving method is not the only method to solve this problem, but we do want you to learn the equation solving method. We need to be able to set up equations for these basic problems so that you can use equations later on when they would really be time saving. So step 1, reading through the problem and assigning the variable. So what are we looking for? We're looking for how many miles the trip was. So that's going to be my variable. I'm going to set m is equal to the number of miles. Step 2 is that setup. So I want to think about what makes that equation. If I'm looking for the miles of the trip and I've got the total cost, so the flat fee would be added to the mileage cost. And if I added those together, that's what would give me my total cost. So kind of thinking through that setup. Step 3 is to write the equation. So the flat fee is $2.05, and I'm going to do that in decimal form, plus 90 cents per mile. Now, per typically is a multiplying word, so you want to have that clue you in to the fact that that is a multiplier. So that is 90 cents times every mile, or 90 cents times m. If I add those values together, I get my total cost. And in this case, we're told that the total cost is $5.65. Then we go through the steps of solving the equation. So on the side with my variable, I want to start to take things away. So I'm going to subtract 205 from both sides. I get 90 cents times m is equal to 360. And then I would divide both sides by 90, or 0.90. And I get m is equal to 4. So now I've solved. And step 5, because it's a word problem, I should answer in sentence form. So the taxi trip was 4 miles. So for example 2, we read through. Tom has read 143 pages of the 251 pages in a book. If he reads 12 pages a day, how long will it take him to finish the book? So what are we looking for? We want to set up our variable. X is the number of days it would take him to finish the book. So we think through, we've got the number of days that he has already read. Plus the days he needs to read. And that would give him the total. Really should, I guess I should take the days out there. It should just be the pages. Let me put that in. Pages he already read. And pages he needs to read. And that would give him the total. So that's our setup. We want to write our equation. The pages he's already read, 143. He will read 12 pages per day, so that's what he needs to read. 12 pages per day. And so that per, or for each, is your multiplier. And hopefully when you add that together, that gives him the total of the book, which is 251. So we've written our equation. Now we need to solve. You want to divide both sides by 12. And hopefully you got x is equal to 9. That's our solving process. And then we want to answer in a sentence because it's a word problem. So it will take 9 days to finish the book. Process complete. So your turn for this one. I'll take you through the part of it, and then I'll have you solve on your own. The longest side of a triangle is 3 more than twice the shortest side, and the remaining side is 2.4 centimeters. You're to find the lengths if the perimeter is 12 centimeters. So as we've mentioned in class, anytime where you're given a geometric shape or some sort of picture, you usually want to sketch the picture just to get an idea of what you're looking for. And in this case, that's part of the setup. So we have a triangle. It doesn't matter if your triangle is drawn to scale, just so you get an idea of the triangle. And we don't know what the lengths of the side are. So we, in a sense, we have two things that we're thinking about. We're thinking about perimeter, which is the perimeter of a triangle. And we have the x, which is the length of the shortest side. So if we're setting up our picture, we have x as a short side, and then it says the longest side of the triangle is 3 more than twice the shortest side. So that would be twice the x plus 3, 3 more than twice the shortest side. And the remaining side is 2.4. So we can just put the number 2.4 centimeters on that remaining side. Now when we find the perimeter, we add up all the sides. So you're adding up x, 2x plus 3, and 2.4, and that should equal the perimeter, which we've been told is 12 centimeters. So at this point, you've got your setup and your equation. Now you just need to solve your equation. Go ahead and do that and put your answer in on Edpuzzle. So hopefully when you solved, you got x equal to 2.2. So you solved the equation. Now you've got a little extra step here. You need to find that third side. So that was 2x plus 3. So you want to plug that in. 2 times the 2.2 plus 3. And that comes out to 7.4 centimeters. So we have the lengths of the triangle are 2.4, 2.2, and 7.4 centimeters. Remember to take all your questions about the notes into class.